Welcome to Inquiry into Self. Now, the inquiry process has this wonderful potential of allowing us to experience and enjoy this alive immensity that we are. However, that process does use a lot of noticing. And it's so easy to just be in our habits and not even notice what's happening. So, for example, the cost of our habits. We're used to so and so gets offended with us, or we end up in a stonewall with our spouse, or yeah, there we go, we're feeling all yucky because of what we eat, or how we didn't exercise, or how we didn't sleep. There's so many different ways where our life takes a dip and our whole biology has to adjust, and then we come back out of it and we don't even notice, the relationship toll or the physical toll, the mental toll, the financial toll that's happening because we've just gotten into this cycle where we accept whatever it is just how it's going to be. Now, I'm not saying that we have to make any of those things wrong or we have to fight with them to have some idyllic life. All I'm saying is that the universe is giving us a gift. Anytime that we're having that discomfort, it's quite frequently a gentle call to notice what we're doing to ourselves. If we're out of sorts with somebody that we love, or if our finances are all amuck again, then we have the option of just checking in to see, was there something in our habitual beliefs, in our posture of our thinking, that causes this kind of recurring pattern? And they can be so subtle. It could be a tooth problem that comes and goes, and lo and behold, it corresponds with when I get myself all stressed and I'm not taking care of my mouth. And the universe is just gently helping me notice that there's this belief that I have to rush. Or it can be, you get this really, really great juicy hug with your spouse and you think, now how come I don't take time for this more often? Those are the gentle invitations to just notice. Notice how we're adding all this burden to our life and making it so hard to enjoy what we are. We add so many burdens, whether it's the burden of procrastinating or the burden of doing too much, the burden of imagining things to be difficult rather than just doing them, or the burden of putting extra stress on ourselves. Or in our relationships, the burden of feeling like we have to be understood rather than, it doesn't matter if they understand us. Nobody's going to remember 2 months from now whether or not I was understood. So all these burdens that we add, if we just pause and notice, wow, there's the cost, there's the cost, there's the cost. That noticing helps make the shifts that we're going to have. So it takes really some contemplation to see, what are the costs of how I'm going about things? What are the costs of the assumptions I'm making? Notice, because we'll just think, well, this is average. We don't even notice it. But when we take what we think is, well, this is just how life is, and instead imagine, wow, life could be this constant enjoyment of what I am. When we allow ourselves into that kind of release, then we can get to the point where we say, oh, okay, this little thing here is worth noticing because this is the evidence that my thinking is boxing me in. We're so used to thinking it's the external things boxing us in, and we revolt and react and push against or resign. But if we notice it's actually our own thinking that's boxing us in, then we can have the opportunity to going through the inquiry process. So how do you get to that place where you notice, oh, this is the cost? This is how I'm boxing myself in. Well, it takes those pauses. It takes allowing ourselves to enjoy the possibility that we could be free all the time. We could be light all the time. We could be connected all the time, not as a standard, not as something, oh, we're missing something, but rather it's just a gentle pointing to, oh, that's where I've boxed myself in. So, this that we are, it's so full, it's so light, it's so joyous, even in anything that's going on in any circumstance. So we can notice all the subtle ways that we alienate ourselves from that inner joy, and then allow the whole inquiry process to dismantle it. So look at different ways that you could pay a little more attention. A little more attention to how you push people away, little more attention how you project difficulties, a little more attention to how you burden yourself, because all those things are the reminders that you don't have to do it anymore. So if you found this helpful, please push like and subscribe.